Welcome
Hello.
to welcome to the Escape Podcast. I got distracted because there's a thing on my phone saying that the show started. I was like, "Well, thanks. Yeah, I know." So, welcome to the Escape with Nick and Adam. I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam.
All
I
right,
want to
Adam.
laugh my butt off now because that was just funny.
I was like,
Hello.
as I'm trying to start the show.
And I'm sitting
But
here like Squiggy. Hello. You know what I
hello,
mean?
hello. Uh, we
Woo.
we are doing a tribute to Neal Adams today, who recently passed. We're gonna do a comics theater Neal Adams edition, so check that out. Actually, what comic are we doing for that, Adam?
It's a very famous comic called Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Um, and it's funny. Anyways, it's number 85. And I think I have the release date over here. Well, it's not 1960. It can't be 1971.
Yeah, so
So
it's one of those comics. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh, that one. Like I did earlier when M's like, we're gonna do this one. I was like, oh, that one. Okay.
it's got a very famous cover, and it was controversial for its time, and maybe that's all we should say about it.
So we're also gonna get into the just released Batman Unburied on Spotify. And plus, we're just going to talk comics and toys and all the usual stuff. So let's see what we got going on here, Adam. So I know we started to talk about it. I said, no, let's stop because we're actually talking about stuff. And are you concerned about what they're going to do with the re-release of the 97 X-Men show?
Yeah, I am a little bit now, because there's a show that is built on a platform of kind of like racial revolution. You know what I mean? Like equal rights on one hand, and then if you look at it from the perspective of Magneto, it's we're at war, let's kill and take over, all this kind of stuff. So it was put on a social platform, but like adventurized and all this kind of stuff. Now we live in 2022, and it's like, well, we don't even need a story. We're safe now. We can put this in X-Men because that's all X-Men is.
Well, and that's where on it really got worked into, where I knew watching that show. It's funny because you got an X-Men shirt on.
I know, weird.
But did not plan that, by the way, guys. There was always overtones to that. We're talking about a bigger picture here, especially like I think we all realized when we were watching the show, they're not recreating, but they're doing very similar to the civil rights movement, back in the 60s. I think we all gathered that. Now,
Yeah, I mean, it was born in that.
well, it was born in it, and that's the thing, because people have always said, well, the X-Men have always been about that, and there's been Stanley on several occasions who has, is on video saying, no, I did not create the X-Men to do, to be part of the civil rights. It eventually worked its way into being that because that's the way the writers took it, and that's fine. And I think that's one of the reasons that it made it as big as it is. But what's that?
Do you have the echo effect on?
Possibly. Turn it down in case I did. So
You're echoing.
oh,
That's okay. Welcome to the echo. The echo. The echo.
It's better than when it tries to auto tune me. That's a bigger pain in the ass.
So is it what, the switching board, or that's trying to do that, or is that Melon?
Hold on. It might be because I have it going through that. How's that sound?
So far, so good.
Is that better? Okay. So I had to go through the speakers, not the headphones. So anyway, yeah.
There.
Oh, it's still there. Okay.
Hey, let's just talk.
Yeah. So anyway, but getting back to the subject. So I think, like I said, there were definitely overtones as to what the X-Men were, and I think with the attitude of 2022, like I said, there was the touch of overtones. With 2022, it's just going to be a hammering of every single social issue. So,
Well, I hope not. I hope it's true to what it was. I mean, we don't know that yet. We don't know what it's going to be yet.
But the pattern of comics and anything related coming from Marvel and DC lately, And like I said, I hope it's not. I hope it's very similar to the '97 show and holds true. But every time I hold my breath, I end up passing out, or eventually, I'm just going to die one of these times.
That Batman animated movie or TV show, that's going to be harsh.
Yeah, that's one of the other ones where, and that's always the tricky thing. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this, but we're gonna have a modern day spin or like modern day sensibility." I was like, "Oh, we know what that means," and it's just like, first of all, I don't understand the point of doing stuff like that because you date it so incredibly harshly. Um, like the '97, like if you showed a kid the '97 X-Men show like right now or the Batman animated show right now, they would have zero problem getting into it, and you wouldn't have to explain anything to them. Maybe you might have to explain, hey, the civil rights thing, just like a quick, there's an allegory there, but overall, it's no. You could literally just set a kid right that, and you'd be fine.
Yeah, they're both timeless.
Yeah, but I think everything coming out now is going to be so dated. Like you're going to have to explain, what white privilege is to a kid watching some of this stuff coming out in 20 years. Be like, why was that a thing? Well, that was a big issue back. Then, this was
Yeah.
something that people were claiming. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. It's like, yeah. So,
No, I'm concerned about that too. I don't hope that the Batman show doesn't go that way. I don't think that it will, but J.J. Abrams is involved, and hopefully the X-Men is going to be cool. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely.
I sure want it to be.
I there would be nothing more than I would love to sit down and watch a modern '97 X-Men show. But it's just it's hard to take anything coming out of the big two right now, as far as comics or as far as TV, take it seriously. So, along with that, like I said, I was telling you I was listening to some of the Batman Unburied on Spotify. They just released the first two episodes, and I think and they're nice and short because I think the first one was like right around 30 minutes. The other one was like 24 minutes. So, but this article we're going off. Hold on, I should share this. Hold on one second. It's an article from Yahoo Finance for some reason. Not sure why they have the article, but so article from Yahoo Finance. It's from Entertainment Weekly. So Batman Unburied writer David S. Goyer on moving the Dark Knight movies to narrative podcast. This articles by Christian Holub. Batman Unburied is not like any other Batman stories. For one thing, it's a narrative podcast, Spotify, instead of comic book, cartoon, or movie. For another, it begins with Bruce Wayne living a different life than the one we're used to. And I was telling you this. So Batman's voiced by Winston Duke, and he is I want to make sure I have the correct term
It's a
here.
hell
So
of a name in English.
I don't know, but it's a very strong name, that's for sure.
I wouldn't fuck with that guy.
Well, he's the guy who plays in Black Panther. He plays the opposing tribe leader.
Oh, and, Jesus, fuck no.
Yeah, you would not want to mess with
No.
Mr. Duke, that's for sure.
My gosh.
But he voices Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne starts off as a forensic pathologist at a major Gotham hospital under the watchful eye of his esteemed father, Dr. Thomas Wayne. He's also Thomas Wayne's voiced by Lance Reddick. If you're not sure who Lance Reddick is, he's from The Wire. He's from Fringe. He's a great actor. So yes. So Bruce Wayne's parents aren't dead yet, and he's fully grown. So
good for Batman.
Yeah, I was like, hey, and it's one of those things. I actually mentioned in the thing. He's like, they have this conversation where he's like, oh, you must have been lonely growing up. It's like, no, I had all my parents, undivided attention. I was like, that's a little bit forced, but okay.
Right.
And like you said, David S. Goyer, he worked with Christopher Nolan on the Dark Knight movies.
Yeah.
Um, so this is a quote from him: "When I was working with Christopher Nolan, so much of the story was based on the shadow that Thomas Wayne cast and Bruce Wayne trying to live up to it." Batman Unburied writer and director David S. Goyer tells EW Entertainment Weekly, and so we thought that's a relationship like what's that relationship like if Thomas is still alive? The obvious thing you think is if Thomas Wayne is still alive, then probably Bruce Wayne wouldn't be the Batman because that was the formative experience that drove him to become the Batman. Which, yeah, that's literally what makes him Batman.
Right. That's exactly
uh,
true.
that's literally what the story is based off. So, anyway, getting back to it. So we thought he would go into the medical field, maybe. So he's in forensics, where he straddles in between between solving crimes and doing medicine. Goyer certainly knows his way around Batman, as alluded to above. He co-wrote 2005's game-changing Batman Begins with Christopher Nolan. So it's definitely a different take. Like I said, I was listening to it earlier. The production value is fantastic. If you have headphones on, there's actually a part where they're uh, removing organs because he's a forensic pathologist. And if you have headphones on, it gets pretty gushy. I'm like, oh.
Right.
So
So
the
then,
production value is pretty high for sure.
so then, is Bruce Wayne Batman?
We're not sure yet. That's it doesn't sound like he is yet. There's no mention of Batman yet. So I'm not sure exactly what the release is. Let me check real quick and see what they plan on doing. There's how many episodes they're going to release, because like I said, they just dropped the first two just now, or not just now, but today. Um, so the first two episodes, Batman Unburied, are live now on Spotify, with subsequent installments of the 10-episode series arriving weekly. So it's going to take a couple months for us to get the full story, but it's it's interesting. It's one of those things that I've really wanted for a long time. I've uh, always had family who lived like really far away, so I've always had like long drives. So I was like, it'd be great instead of just listening to the same old thing. I'd really like to listen to like the old timey radio stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be in similar to that, but obviously a much higher production value. So
Yeah, you ought to hear what they did with the Sandman. I mean, it's crazy if they did it. If that's a is that done by Audible or who did that?
it's on Spotify. I
Oh, okay. So, okay, it could be them. It could be. Anyways, I'm sure it's great. The production value sounds good.
yeah, the sound's fantastic. So yeah, it's a Spotify original, Batman and Buried. It's all done either
Okay.
by and the villain so far is the Harvester. Is that a Batman?
I don't know.
Not one that I'm familiar with. So, but that's the bad guy so far. And what do you know? He's a harvester of humans, human organs.
Sorrow,
Yeah, the harvester of sorrow. So,
anger, misery, you suffer unto me. Sorry.
see,
Harvester of sorrow.
we went from singing Buddy Holly earlier to now we're the harvester of sorrow.
And I would argue Harvester of Sorrow is a better song. You can make
Okay,
love to those lyrics all you want because they send a positive message, but on Justice for All as an album is a symphony of guitars. So if you want to say that All of My Love and All of My Kissing is a better written song as far as lyrics go, I could buy that. But you can't. You're not going to convince me that anybody in the fucking Buddy Holly crew was better than Jason Newsted or Kurt Hammett, Lars.
well, it could not be a more different argument from music from literally what do we say the 50s music to 80s the
88
heaviest of heavy. Yeah, I don't
heavy
know if
metal.
there.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know if there's a a a
I
bigger
think you have a
dichotomy in
better,
music.
I think you have a better point there. It could be a more different choice.
I
You're right,
I mean,
though.
the only thing in common is they probably play guitars. That's probably the only thing similar to them. But then again, they say Buddy Holly was like a rocker, like was like heavy for his day, and I'm like,
He probably moved one of his feet.
he, he left the top button undone on his suit.
Yeah,
All right, and what's
fucking genius.
what?
I just so okay. Uh, I have the Cloak Marvel Legends action figure. Cloak and Dagger,
Yeah,
and I was like, what am I gonna do when I get this McFarlane Green Arrow? He doesn't have a hood, and it drives me nuts. I happened to be walking past, and there he was laying in a box. I was like, that's it. So I take his head off. I pull the thing off. His head and his hood were like one piece. Like they had his hood on him, like it was like the way they press in hair. And I don't know if you've seen how they press in hair on an action figure, like if you ever removed their hair, but it's like a long strip inside these grooves. And yeah, so I ended up tearing a hole in the top of the hood. However, Green Arrow got here today, and before I spray painted it, um, the hood, I put it on him, and he looks damn good. So what I was saying just now, when I was like, "Oh hell yeah, that's a good idea," I had pulled out a little piece of hot glue from my pocket here, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh, I could patch it and paint it." And so that's it.
some people have lint in their pocket. Adam's got bits of hot glue in his pocket, so
Well, I'm
sometimes it's
constantly
just better best not to ask sometimes. So
posing action figures, and it's cool. That's what Shartimus Prime song. You ever hear that song at the end of his show? Posing action figures or something like that. It's great.
I only watched the one and that the one Sharpness Prime. That's when he had Todd McFarlane on. So
Usually it's toy reviews and stuff. It's not usually a interview.
oh sure, but hey, let's get to our trivia of Mr. Adams here.
All
So
right,
Neil
folks.
Adams, yeah, Neil Adams passed away last week, and we were talking earlier about how do you quantify a legend status. And Adam, you had an example from Kevin Smith, right?
Yeah, I stole Kevin Smith's example because he sometimes when he's talking about, especially when he's talking about comics on his old show where he actually interviewed Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil, which we'll get into in a little bit too. Um, he always says like, for example, who would your Mount Rushmore be of Batman artists? Well, that's different for everybody. You know what I mean? So how do you quantify a legend? Like, would he be on my Mount Rushmore? Yeah, there's always going to be five. It's always going to be five, though. I'm not going to have four people on there, because Mount Rushmore, So at least there'd be one more head. You got to have five heads. But anyways, that's just me. So yeah, but Neil Adams, I would quantify it that way. He'd be on my Mount Rushmore of not only I'd have two Mount Rushmores. Prolific with Batman, that would be the one. And then the other Mount Rushmore I'd put him on is somebody who really impacted comic books and the comic book industry, like as a maverick, like as somebody who says, we're not going to take it anymore. You're not going to screw us over like this. Because of Neil Adams, the whole Superman lawsuit started between the families and Warner Brothers because of
Yeah,
him.
yeah. So, and that's one of the things because I was trying to do a little bit of homework earlier about just about Neil Adams, and one of the first things that's on his Wikipedia or mentioned is his advocacy for creator rights.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows anything about, especially early comic book creators, they got so screwed over with so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, forgive me, who's the Superman creators? Because it's
Oh, Jerry Siegel and Joel Schuster.
Yeah, so they didn't know, no one knew who they were essentially
Right.
until, he until like I said, he started, you know, he got that ball rolling for them.
Yeah, well, he
So,
told a story about how he got that ball rolling. Did you want to? I can kind of
yeah,
like paraphrase it to you.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
he told it on Fat Man on Batman when Kevin Smith's show was basically if Batman touched your life and you were a semi celebrity or a comic book artist or whatever, you come on the show and you talk about how your life and how Batman kind of impacted it. Well, life, yeah, it goes without saying with Neal Adams why we talk about him. So Neal Adams is on the show and he's talking about being an advocate for creator rights. And there's a Superman Broadway show. And he happens to see, I don't know if he happens to see him or they meet up or something, but it's one of the guys who created Superman. I don't know if it's Jerry Siegel or Joel Schuster, but let's just, for the sake of the story, say, Schuster, whatever. And he couldn't afford a ticket to get in. He could barely pay his rent. And he's like, "What are you talking about? You afford a ticket? They didn't drive you out here and top class, and why would you have to pay for it?" Then he really got the ball rolling after that with that lawsuit between those two families and Warner Brothers DC Comics because I mean millions and millions, which would quantify into billions this year or in this day and age. I mean that's off of those two characters or off of that character alone. Superman.
Well, I mean, for how long was Superman the best-selling, comic? How many decades was Superman the tops for?
I don't
Probably
know.
50 years.
I don't know if it was in the tops for not 50 years because those comics were stalling in the 60s. Like we talked earlier, the X-Men came along and then you had Avengers, but X-Men was like the heaviest hitter. Like you read X-Men and Fantastic Four if you were like the rebel, you know what I
Right.
mean? So, but yeah, I don't know, but he was the first. Superman was definitely the first. You think of all the TV shows they've had, you think of all the movies they've had, and they wouldn't even cut these people a dime.
Yeah, well, and you told a story before, about the gentleman who created, Winter Soldier, where he
Yeah,
said Comic Cons where he's got movies, he's a movies,
his
TV show,
character.
and,
Yeah,
his character, and what's he getting for it? Nothing.
nothing at
Maybe
all.
maybe a little bit, but no, that's really the shame of a lot of stuff where, and that's why you had the birth of Image Comics and so many things nowadays where, so many people are like, "Yeah, if I create something, yeah, I'd really like to have a piece of that for, the rest of my life." That's where,
Yeah.
especially like, Todd McFarlane's really, taken back the reins of Spawn the last few years to kinda revive that and also expand that universe. So, Neil Adams is really the godfather of that whole movement. So, I mean, there's
Yeah,
obviously it was a movement, everybody's wanted it before, but Neil Adams is one of the few guys who actually got stuff done for it. So we'll put it
and
that way.
he stood up at a time where he knew he could work for either of the big two. It didn't matter. So if you didn't like what he had to say, he could just walk away.
Right.
You know, he created John Stewart, the Green Lantern, John Stewart.
Yep.
He told a funny story about that. Um, he had suggested a black Green Lantern, uh, and they had listened to his suggestion, and then the new Green Lantern was unveiled, and that Green Lantern was Guy Gardner. And I know we shit on Guy Gardner a lot in this show, at least I do. About to shit on
Yeah, you do, but you know way more also.
I'm about to shit on him just a little bit more. I like Guy Gardner as a Red Lantern. Anyway, I digress. So he goes barging into Julie Schwartz's office. This is how he basically his description of the story. He goes barging in there. He says, "What the hell is this? This guy, And he says, "Well, what do you expect?" He goes, "How about we have him get hit by a bus and we just kill him?" He was a gym teacher too. Yeah, Guy Gardner was a gym teacher in like middle Midwest America. And he goes, so you're going to tell me that this ring flew past Batman, flew past Superman, flew past all these other people, and just picked this gym teacher? Come on, what's so special about him? Then he starts talking about uh, doing the black character, the Black Green Lantern, and they get in a shouting match. And he says, "Well, if we do it, you're gonna have to draw it then." Talking to him, he goes, "I will, because I'm the only one who can draw black people." And he was right. At that
Right.
time, when they drew black people, it was very caricature. And he didn't draw John Stewart like that. He drew John Stewart like a black man, and he made him an architect.
Right.
So he says, "All right, fine. Let's call him Washington Jefferson, something like that." And he goes, "You can't call him Washington Jefferson." "Well, why not?" He goes, "Because that's racist." "No, it isn't." He says, "Well, what do you
It,
want to call him?" He goes, "John Stewart." He goes, "I didn't know there'd be a comedian 25 years later named John Stewart."
right.
And that was how John Stewart got made. Got created.
Also, he is credited with the creation of Ra's al Ghul, or co-creator.
Yep, him and Denny O'Neil were the books that they did with Batman just redefined Batman. I mean, arguably, you could say most of the good stuff. I mean, all of it's good for the Batman the animated series, but most of that hardcore, hard hitting stuff that they started making movies about, like Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows, that was all from Denny O'Neil. Denny O'Neil and Neal Adams.
Well, also they're credited with bringing really Batman back, because as much as we love the '66 Batman show, hell, even today people are still think of, when they still think of Batman, they still think of boom pow, you know,
Yep.
and Denny O'Neil really, not Denny O'Neil, Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams really brought them out of that era where it's like, no, we're gonna ground him more, we're gonna not make him he's going to be an actual detective. And I think that's one of the Denny O'Neil was actually had a background in police work, or he was a detective, something like that. So
Well, uh, I could tell you how he stayed the way he stayed. How Batman stayed true with the Bill Finger origin. Yes, Bill Finger, I say. Um, so Danny O'Neill gets tasked with basically creating the Silver Age. He and a couple other guys, and so that's like when Green Lantern stopped being Alan Scott, and the power stopped being magic, and he started being the uh, police, space cops. Okay, that's when that happened. Jay Garrick stopped being the Flash, and then they had this guy Barry Allen, and so Barry Allen was now the Flash, and it was all rebooted. But he goes, and then I got tasked with Batman. They tasked me with Batman. That's what it was. He says, and I looked at it and says, "Well, if I've ever seen something that's not broken, I don't think we need to fix this."
right.
you know, just write it the way it should be written, and we'll be fine. And that's what they did. Except for Batman still used the word chum a lot.
Well, that's an underused utilized word nowadays. I wish more people would use the word chum. So, but because the way I was thinking about it, I was like, how do you really, try and, like I said, quantify someone as a legend? And I always thought, when we were growing up, before uh, the Batman movie came out in 1989, the Batman we grew up with was Neil Adams Batman. That was what everybody thought of, with the blue cape and the
Mm-hmm.
gray bodysuit, yellow logo. That was Batman. All the figures were, in that style. Everything that, hey Priscilla, thanks for joining us. Everything
Hi, Priscilla.
that you could could imagine had Batman on it was in the image of Neil Adams Batman. And
Yeah.
one of the things that especially he brought to Batman was, like, we have it on on image, like, it's he upped the art game for comics so much, with just being like it's called hyper realistic, which now it's just that's the way comics are drawn nowadays. So he really
Right.
changed the game. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and Priscilla says his artwork for Black Canary is one of my favorites. So I'm sure Adam will agree with
Adam's got to see that. I did not know. So, Black Canary's one of my top five.
that. Yes. Give me a second. I'm trying to find that. But that's what I was thinking of when a legend, where I think we were saying now it's if you were to think, Batman, you might think Jim Lee's Batman, or you
Yeah.
might think of Frank Miller's Batman.
Yeah. If you're in your upper 20s, maybe you're thinking back and maybe the comics that you read was Hush or something like that. The older I get, though, I got a bad taste in my mouth right now. I was realizing somebody brought this up on YouTube. I don't even remember which one it was, but this guy gave this whole 12 to 15 minute. Oh, I've seen that. Hello, did Black Canary and the yeah. I actually posted that on my Facebook one day. That very page.
There you go.
I don't. The older I get, though, like the further away I like to be from like the Gotham City and the world that like Grant Morrison, created. Like Gotham City, like this kid was right. Like Gotham City didn't look very gothic in his stuff. Um, there was a little pop to it, color. You know what I mean? It just didn't seem like Batman. Batman doesn't even seem like Batman in that stuff, though. So sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a well. Even I remember watching because I just sat down to watch Tim Burton's Batman. I was like, even the choice to shoot some of that stuff, just architecture wise, I was like, where do they shoot that? Did they shoot that in like Prague or something? Because some of the stuff is just like
Shot it
that is
all
not.
on Warner Brothers lot.
Oh, okay, because I was like, that is not
Yep.
American. That like some of that architecture because they had like just some of the like super industrial stuff where like they had bolts that are like this big, and I'm like, holy moly!
Yeah.
It's just like but that's what I think of when I kind of think of Gotham. And then you get into Joel Schumacher's where I was like, that's cool, but not as good.
Schumacher's like he was going for. Well, no, I don't know. I guess his was bizarre too, though. It was gothic, but I
Yeah,
think it
but
was
but
better
on
than
a
Grant Morrison's.
yeah, but
Even at the
on
end
a
of Batman and Robin, the first props I'm ever going to give this damn movie, when the whole city's frozen over and they got to do whatever they got to do to heat people up. I can't remember what it was, but that architecture wasn't very gothic. At least not the way I remember it.
I've forgotten just about everything about that movie except for Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze.
Hey, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Oh, oh no.
You're not sending me to the cooler.
uh, poor Arnold. Poor Mr. Freeze. He deserves so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, wait till you see George Sanders play Mr. Freeze. Did you already see it? No, we didn't get that far, did we?
No, not yet. Yeah, no. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because
Okay.
they had the red boxes around
You
everything
just
with
took the words right out of my mouth.
yeah, the heat boxes.
Yeah. He was a wicked Mr. Freeze, though.
No, he was really good.
Yeah, he wasn't funny or anything. Not on that show.
But that's part of our one of the shows that we're working on. It's called the Bright Knight Chronicles, where we sit down and watch the '66 Batman show. We're gonna get them out eventually. we got some recorded. We just got to get them up on the channel for you guys to watch. So the premise of that show is basically we sit down, we count down, do a countdown. If you guys want to sync up with us, and you can sit down and watch the '66 Batman show, and we'll talk about it, and then we'll give you some of the facts from like IMDb, some of the trivia and all that good stuff, and whatever interesting things that Adam finds out. And then we sit down and watch it and have a good time. So we're gonna get those up eventually at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So All right, Adam, you want to get into what do you want to do? You want to do toys or comics or first, or what do you want to do?
Well, let's do toys because once we get into comics and we can do the read.
Right.
You want to
Great.
go first or me? Because I have a
You go ahead.
all right. I have a lot.
That's fine.
Mail call showed up today, everybody. So I took.
Whee!
Indeed, sir. Indeed. I just got to remember. Do I have anything open? No, I don't. All right, bear with me, folks. We just gotta.
I'll go first then. I got
There
my
you go.
mail call today. I got these cool Ninja Turtles in the style of the comics showed up today. Um, trying to find out if they're NECA or not. Oh, they are NECA. Okay, so they are NECA in the style of the Mirage comics, original comics. These little nunchucks got a chain. Look at that.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
oh yeah. So I picked up two. Like I said, they came from China, so they took a while to get here. But here's Donnie too, and his bow staff looks amazing. It's got a lot of texture to it, so it looks great. So, um, so now that I know those are good, I'm gonna order. Hopefully, I can find the rest. Um, but I also ordered a black and white version from eBay. So that was one of those I accidentally ordered them. I accidentally said yes. Like, damn, you confirm and pay.
Yeah, that happened to me. One of the orders that you'll see. Well, maybe.
Well, the
Maybe it
problem
might
is
have been premeditated. I'm not sure.
part of the problem was is it's all because I was looking for them. See if I can find them real quick. But they didn't. But they're loose, which is fine. But they don't come with any accessories. So I'm like, you know what? Uh,
I just buy the ones
I'll
in the
just
bag.
well, I'll just buy some other ones and paint them black and white. Move on with my life.
What? Is that what you're gonna do?
Probably.
So you're not gonna buy the black and white ones?
No, I already did, but they don't come with
Oh.
any of the accessories.
Oh, okay. And they were loose. Those
They're
were
loose and they were really cheap, and I'm like, why are they so cheap? And then like at the last second, I was like, oh, that's why.
why?
But
No, no.
this is the style that they're coming in.
Oh, why?
So they're really cool. And then they got the all red bandanas like the original comics. So that'll wrap up that part of the collection very quickly. So that's nice.
Yep. So
All right. Are you ready, Adam?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh,
Pre-orders were released and showed up today. So here we go. Share that. Yeah. Let me know when you can see Tila.
there's Tila.
All right, so she's one of the. I only opened two of them today, but this is the Masterverse Classic Tila. So this is before the time jump. She came with another head that doesn't have the tiara, but of course she's in front of a giant battalion that she's in charge of. So she's standing in this kind of like battle pose sort of a thing. That's how I posed her. Then we got Grifter and the Green Arrow showed up today.
Ugh, I'm so upset about Grifter.
Yours is coming, right?
No, I haven't ordered it yet because I'm trying to be somewhat financially responsible because Comic Con's coming. So
It's fucking Grifter. It's Grifter. It's one toy.
I know. I blame Target because Target kept pushing it back. They kept pushing back my pre-order, and they're like, "No, it's gonna be here at this day. No, it's gonna be here at this day." I was like, I'm done. I'm done because I saw a lot of other people complaining about Target. I was like, screw it, I'll just cancel it, and then I haven't ordered from.
Bro, you could have yours by Saturday if you ordered it right now.
I might have to.
Yeah, it's
The
$19.99.
wife's gonna be out of town, so
Buying toys. It's great. So, anyways, Grifter. I mean, it goes without saying. I liked Grifter when you introduced me to him when we were teenagers. I'm glad to see him in an action figure from DC Multiverse, especially from DC Multiverse. I have an old action figure of him still in the package, but it's all like destroyed as far as the package goes. It looks like shit. So I'm going to take his guns out of there and I'm going to give him his guns. And if I've got I can't tell if that hand is opened or not right there. It looks like it's open. Yeah. Anyway, so I like this Green Arrow more than I expected to.
Yeah.
His face looks great. I knew I was going to like him because I like the Injustice skin on him.
I say, is that the Injustice version?
Yeah. But see, he could just still be your vanilla Green Arrow. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like,
all I need is the pointy cap.
No, he needs a hood.
Oh, okay.
God, Nick. God. Anyways, can't believe you said the pointy hat.
Come on, you wouldn't put a pointy hat on him.
I won't. I don't even. Honestly, I can't read the. I've never read a Green Arrow comic where he's wearing the pointy hat.
Are we not going to read one today?
Okay, well that's an exception. I read Hard Traveling Heroes, so yeah, that's the only exception. Denny O'Neil, Neal Adams. So yeah. Anyways,
hashtag pointy hat.
You bastard. Black Adam came. He kind of looks like. He kind of looks like Balky.
He looks a little bit like Balky, who hasn't slept in a while. He's got the dark eyes.
Actually, he looks like Benny from LA Law.
That's a reach.
Anyways, what were you gonna say? Did I pre-order them?
No, the Wally West. Because I saw him the other day. I meant to ask. I saw him at Walmart. There's only one.
That's okay.
Probably gone. Probably gone.
I did pre-order him. He should be here by the end of the week.
He looks fantastic.
I can't wait.
Did you order the Godspeed ones too?
I did not order Godspeed. No. The only figure I have left now on orders is Wally West Flash. So I don't know. I broke down. I had an idea of something I wanted to do with him, and I don't see him anywhere else. And I'm kind of a completionist. Besides, it comes with an extra flight stand for me. So I bought the Henry Cavill black suit one. That was an impulse buy. So was he. But I've got a cool idea for him too. And in my imagination, he doesn't have to have all those powers. Like he can still be like healing or something from being dead. In my imagination.
Oh, Kitty Sparkles is with us.
Hello, Kitty Sparkles.
He's pretty much turned into like a baby where we just have to carry him everywhere.
Okay, so you can see there's another Tila photo.
Yeah.
You can see the army behind her. I changed it around instead of everybody fighting. And there's that.
Oh, yeah.
And I ordered a custom cape for him, too. That came today, too.
Where did you order your custom capes from? Because I see people order custom capes, and I was like, man, should I? Because a lot of times it really does make a difference.
Well, we're going to find out when I open this bad boy.
Because this one really doesn't have like a complete cape. That's just, I mean, I know what they're doing with the figure and I know why they're doing it, but it's like pretty much just kind of like a little bit shoulder pads with the collar. And then the rest is kind of built into the chair, right?
Right. But you know what you could do with this thing, though? You could just make your own cloth goods cape. You could cut out like a pattern behind it and then just kind of hot glue these up into the shoulder pads and behind it and put it down. They don't even have to be that. Doesn't even have to be great until you get down here or anything. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I still don't have just a Spawn figure.
The closest thing I guess I have this Rebirth one, but he's like a Staction figure. And then I have the Mortal Kombat one. So. And I think... Oh, yes.
Oh, I saw him at the store. I was like, hey.
Yep, Ultraman. He is, of course, part of the crime syndicate. This is the reality, the Earth, where the superheroes are assholes. They're mean. There is no Batman. Bruce Wayne is Owlman. And that
is that?
Is what all came today.
Nice. So it was a good day.
Yeah.
All right. So other toy news. NECA is starting the pre-order for the April O'Neil. They call it the Monster Mayhem pre-order. So the April O'Neil as the Bride of Frankenstein.
I've seen this. Yes, it's awesome. And you know what? It's got me thinking maybe I need to buy the Monster Turtles.
Same.
See what they do?
But that's the thing. So even there, like, so my wife and I were at Walmart. We were looking at because she likes pops, and I like. I'm starting to focus more on figures. But man, I just picked up like uh, the Mummy one from the
Oh yeah.
Was it Bela Lugosi? Was he the Mummy too?
No, Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff. That's right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just picked that up. I was like, and even my wife's like, holy crap, like they just look so good. Because
Oh, I
they got
know.
the big window and they got all the different heads and you see I'm just like, no, don't do that. Don't do that because I can't afford this.
And then you buy it anyway.
No, I didn't. I put it down.
Oh, so you didn't buy the Mummy?
I did not buy the Mummy.
Have you seen the accessory pack for it?
No.
You need to look that up real quick and show it to the folks at home and yourself. Because there's an accessory pack to that, and there's also an accessory pack to Frankenstein.
Well, let's go through these picks real quick for the April.
Okay. Okay, yes, please. Okay, yes. Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. And I don't even know entirely what's going on, but that looks awesome. I know it's like supposed to be a microphone because she's a reporter, but
yeah, WTRI. Or no, maybe not. I don't know. And look how much she does look like that April O'Neil. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't think she was very pretty, and now as an adult, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Dude, she looks exactly the same. Did you see? She still does stuff with NECA where just a few weeks ago where she introduced her. I was like, holy crap, she has not aged. All right, would that be on NECA's page or is that a separate accessory thing?
I saw a video on it. I mean, I suppose you could Google image it, but
hold on. So this is here she is right here. Player. Looks fantastic.
My gosh, she
looks great.
Super pretty.
Also, I did not realize until we were watching it the other day. Also, an Armageddon. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was in that movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mummy accessory pack is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, NECA Mummy accessory pack. No, I wasn't in it. I just wrote that song. You know, back in the 90s, they'd play that song on the radio and then just play it again and again and again, all in a row.
Yeah, no, I got sick of that. Come on, internet. There we go. Ooh. Da-da-da, la-di-da-di. He's like the potty. You don't cause trouble.
I'm a Mog.
Come on. Half man, half dog.
I'm my own best friend.
So is that what you saw?
Yes, sir. That's it.
That's fantastic. Release date August 2022. So yeah, that's great. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Ran out of adjectives. I'd say, does he go in the? Oh, he goes in the sarcophagus.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. I mean, look at that, man.
That's so good. And he's a big figure too, so that's big. He's a 7-inch figure, so that thing's probably close to 10 inches.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Look at that. That's so good. You bastards, NECA. See, and this is what we were talking about that earlier. So the differences between like uh NECA and like McFarlane, because I know Todd got in a little bit of trouble because basically said I am only going to make the shit that sells, and then NECA's like we're going to make a bunch of shit, like
Yeah,
we're gonna make a bunch of stuff.
we're gonna make all the toys.
We're going to make all the like if you're in the Ninja Turtles, especially like the cartoon, they're gonna make so many figures that you totally forgot that was even in the show because you stopped watching like third or fourth season, and they started throwing a bunch of characters in the rest of the seasons. You're like, who the hell's this guy? And I'm like, holy crap, they made that guy.
Plus, they
So,
made you go to middle school and you couldn't watch it anymore because it wasn't on at the same time.
dude, that was the thing. That's what. Okay, that drove me nuts because I would literally run from the bus stop and I'd catch like the last like if the bus was like really moving that day, I might have caught like the last 12 minutes of an episode. But that was me like running fat. And I don't run that fast. So,
Yeah, well, you know, it's some bullshit.
but yeah, every single day I would, it almost as much as clockwork where when I would watch Scooby Doo in the morning and by 7:44, they had already solved the mystery. You could set an alarm to it.
You know, it's kind of weird too how they treat you when you're a student when you first go in on like the first day of school and all that kind of stuff. Even the young kids, all the way to the high school kids, it's like as soon as you come in, you've got this identity. I like to go do this, or I like to. We don't give a fuck.
That's nice.
When the
You're
bell
not
rings,
special.
when the bell rings, you better be moving. Okay. Be quiet.
I forget. Was it middle school when I was either playing like intramural basketball or something? So it was after school. I was after school for some reason, and there was this long, I could see to get to the buses, you have to go down this really long hallway, probably like 100 yards. And I could see my principal like by the bus saying, "Come on, like hurry." And I'm like, "Me? Like, all right." So I start hustling like a little bit. He's like, "Do you want the bus to leave without you?" I was like, "You saw me. You were going to leave me? That's not cool." I was like, "I don't like this place."
Yeah.
Bunch of jerks.
Yeah. I'll never forget there was this teacher that took us outside when I was in the first grade, first time. First time. And she took us outside. I didn't even know what she took us outside for. All I heard was we're going outside. So she took us outside and I split. I went on top of the monkey bars and I'm like, I am Voltron at the top of the monkey bars. She turns around, she starts screaming, "Get over here!" I'm like, "What? I'm playing. Isn't that what we're here for?"
Is that not what we do outside?
Oh, it killed me every time they take us outside in elementary school and we had to do something. We couldn't just fucking play.
Right.
Oh, I hated that.
So
yeah, that's what I hated
anyway.
about school. It wouldn't let us play.
All right, let's get to what we're reading, Adam. And hold on, I've got a video for that.
Yeah, you got me. All right.
Makes me happy.
Yeah. I haven't had a lot of time, so I didn't pick up any comics this weekend to read them. But I still want to finish that Englehart, Marshall Rogers run on Batman, so that's on my list.
Yeah, and I'm just getting into the second part of City at War for Ninja Turtles. So that's pretty fantastic. One of the things I realized in the comics, Splinter kills so many people. Like in the cartoon, you're like, oh, he's kind of like Jesus, where he's more like turn the other cheek and be patient and do all this. And dude, like, so in City at War, it follows up after they kill Shredder. Splinter takes over the Foot Clan, basically just to kind of keep the city from exploding and to stop any more transgressions. So, but he utilizes the Foot Clan because he's got dudes. that go do dirt for him, and he has zero problem. Like, hey, he's got assassins, and he'll use them. It
Wow,
just blows my mind.
cool. Where are
So
the turtles in all this? Are they part of the Foot Clan?
yeah, and they're okay. This is okay. There's no problem. This is what ninjas do. That's part of the thing. That's part of the one of the big things from going from cartoons to comics is, dude, they have killing is not an issue in the comics for them. You grow up, I grew up with the cartoons like, oh, we just want to. The only things they really kill are the Foot Clan robot, they're robots or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they're dudes in the comics, and they have zero problem killing them.
Yeah. Well, it's like they'd always run away. Next time, turtles. Next
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
whatever.
Well, in all
Next time.
yeah, say in all 80s cartoons. That was one like we watched the toys that made us a GI Joe, and you realize like zero people died in the GI Joe cartoon after all the shots had been fired in that show.
Not one casualty.
No one got shot on accident. So, but one of the things I've been reading is the run of Swamp Thing. So, and this is as you can see, season 2 begins here. So they're starting up a new lineup. This is a run of 16 issues. This is issue 11. And this one's called Jericho's Rose Part 1, where they actually go to Alec Holland's wife to go ask for help for our new Swamp Thing. Can't remember.
Happy Arcane?
Right,
his wife, Abby Arcane.
Miss Holland. Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
Sorry, I got a cat on me, so I'm having a little bit of trouble. But once again, it's Ram V. Here, make sure I get all my artists and everything. So hold on. So I'm trying to figure. I keep forgetting because it's a while since I picked this back up. Was they have a new Swamp Thing? Having a hard time finding them, but I will show you the cover for. So this is issues 11 and 12. So look at that cover. That's great.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like I said, getting into it again, back into the Swamp Thing again, and man, some of the stuff is it's diabolical. Diabolical, absolutely. I'll just see if I can show you one of the things. So one of the things they do is to basically create a new villain. They take like one guy and they surgically graft the evil guy to him.
Whoa!
It's really bizarre. In case it doesn't sound bizarre enough.
Sounds like that movie Malignant.
Yeah, kind of.
Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah, we
watched. What did you think?
Trudy liked it more. I think I didn't watch the whole thing, but like Trudy explained what happened. I was like, oh, okay. And then, oh, here we go. There's our villain.
Jeez, gross.
And so they're basically trying to hook up with Alec Holland to get the, to help him find the new Swamp Thing. I apologize. I have a cat on my shoulder, so it's very distracting. But you know where Alec Holland is right now?
Mm-mm.
Detroit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was like, that's neat. So,
is he living in the
well, he's trying, and it's weird because he's trying to basically kind of get the green back going in Detroit, because obviously anybody knows anything about Detroit, it's a very industrial city, or the Motor City. That's how it goes. So but since the good old days of the Motor City, there's been a lot of dilapidated buildings. So he's kind of just trying to help bring the city back, essentially. But one of the things I do appreciate is they actually show images of Detroit in the art. Like they went to the Packard plant and all that stuff. Where I'm like, oh, I recognize that. Hey, I recognize that. Hey, I recognize that. Because how many times do they show Detroit in a movie or somewhere, and you're like, hey,
That's
Detroit.
not Detroit.
what
Exactly.
was what was? Oh, I forget what movie it was. Was it Precinct 13 or something like that? And they're like, oh, it's a precinct in Detroit, and they're like, they run in the back, and there's a forest, and I'm like, well, that's not Detroit. I was like, I was
Wasn't
like,
there
clearly you've never been to Detroit.
wasn't there a show that bombed really hard called Detroit?
It was the
Like
Detroit
sport.
187,
Yeah.
which
Why
is
did it
funny.
bomb?
One, because anything usually involving Detroit doesn't work. Let's see here. Unless it's New York, Chicago, or Boston or LA, it'll work fine. People do not like Detroit because it was well received, it was well made, but guess what? People just do not give two craps about Detroit. That's the only thing I can think of because it had everything you wanted it to have. It was well written, well received. Didn't get the ratings.
The
Well,
show
and
was well written.
yeah,
Did you watch it?
I don't watch network I do not watch network television when it is on. Ever
Yeah.
since the invention of the DVR, I watch it
Right.
late. So,
Right.
but I remember just when it was on because obviously around here it was a big deal. Everybody was like, "Yay!" And then I don't even know if it made it through its first season. So,
Hmm.
but I just remember it was getting hyped up as well written, well received. Everybody liked it, but it just didn't get the ratings. So,
Huh.
and that's the weird thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, 187. That's not the code for murder in Detroit. That's just an LA thing."
Oh yeah, that's another way. Another way that show got busted.
Yeah. So,
RoboCop
but
did all right. That's
yeah,
Detroit.
RoboCop's. Everybody
That's
loves
Detroit.
RoboCop. We almost got a statue of RoboCop.
Well, we did. We had one. I think they took it down.
Uh,
It
yeah,
was erected.
we also had a statue of Satan. So,
We did. Why?
yeah,
Satan?
because people, because Satanists like to mess with people.
Was it Satan or was it Baphomet?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
The one with the
Baphomet.
fingers, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's got
Big long nose.
yeah, with the goat's head and all that." Yeah, that was up for a hot second, and then all the Christians got upset. So I thought it was funny.
Wild.
Yeah, Detroit's an interesting place. You either get the big fist of Joe Louis, or RoboCop, or the devil.
Satan. Could it be Satan?
Satan,
You remember that?
the
Church lady? Yeah.
So, all right, Adam, you ready to do? Hold on. Comic book theater. Well, that worked or not, but
Yeah, I'm ready to do it.
let's do it too.
Who are you going to be? Green Arrow or Green Lantern?
I think I'd be a better Green Lantern.
Okay. Let me mute this.
I can't hear you when you do that. You mute your mic. Me.
Okay, so should I be Roy Harper? Well, no, then I'm just going to be talking to myself. You have to be Roy Harper.
Okay.
If I'm going to be Oliver. So, okay.
Yeah. So, and once again, this is strictly for entertainment purposes. We are just doing this one as a tribute to Neal Adams, but also this is just for fun. We have zero rights to this, and please don't sue us.
Yes, please do not sue us. Just enjoy the show.
Yes, strictly for
All
fun. Just
All
for
right,
fun, please.
All right.
And we're up.
This is The Shocking Truth About Drugs by Neal Adams and Denny O'Neil. Denny O'Neil, the writer, of course. Neal Adams, the artist. Green Lantern, Green Arrow. This was a prolific comic book for its
I
time.
I say, do we want to talk about that real quick? Why this was a not quite groundbreaking, but this really rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, it tackled a lot of social issues of the time.
It's, yeah, it was definitely a taboo subject at the time.
Yeah, this was taboo subject. They talked about race relations between black people and white people. There was a black man in this, not in this particular comic, but looked at Green Lantern. I think it was in the first one, and it said, you help the purple skins, you help the yellow skins. Talking about all these aliens, but what you ever done for the dark skins? And then he goes on to say something prolific, and I don't remember, but he ended up feeling like crap, and that's when he hunted down Oliver because he wanted to make a difference on the street level.
So, all right, let's get into it. Green Lantern co-starring Green Arrow, only 25 cents.
So here's the question: are they co-starring the same ones? You know what I mean? Which one is which? All right, never mind. I
I said
digress.
this was number 85 in September.
Number 85, and they're all a bunch of one-offs, kind of a thing. I mean, they follow each other as much as like, hey, we're on the road together, and that's what this is. This is Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and they are on the road together across America. And here is the person you're seeing here with the junkie and the drugs. That is at the time Speedy. He becomes the Red Arrow, then Arsenal, but that is Roy Harper. That is the sidekick of the Green Arrow. And here we go. You got narration or you want me?
I'll narrate.
All right.
Some will say the following story should not be told. There will be those who argue that such events have no place in an entertainment magazine. Perhaps they are right. We don't think so because we've seen these noble creatures, human beings, wrecked, made less than animals, plunged into hells of agony. We've seen it. We're angry, and this is our protest. Denny O'Neil, writer, Neal Adams, artist, and Joyce Schwartz as editor. Snowbird. No, go ahead.
Snowbirds don't fly. Man, I'm scared spitless.
Keep cool. There won't be nothing to it.
Here comes Mother's boy. Get ready. Oh, shit, man. They know who they're about to mug? It's not a good idea, fellas. All right. I think that's you.
Hey, man, give me your wallet.
We need your money. We don't want to hassle you.
Then don't. Sorry. Oh,
Wait a minute.
sorry. I didn't realize that was Green Lantern.
Yeah. Then don't. All right. So these guys are asking for some trouble. Because I'm plain in no mood. My woman just told me she's not going to be home when I call anymore. And all around, it's been a bad night. Step aside, kiddos. Let's not cause each other grief.
Maybe you didn't understand.
Oh, I did. I did. You're junior muggers, right? Well, Sonny boys, you've picked the wrong victim with Oliver Queen. I've got a lot of mad in me that wants out.
It's not like talking about yourself in third person.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, and you've elected yourself as my target. So he's got, yeah. So he's got some poppy speak,
Yeah.
Kind of like a Nightwing does too. I'm kind of glad you guys happened along. Otherwise, I'd had to go inside and punch walls. You're not much good at this. Your heart isn't in it. As a thug, you're a bust. You should learn a trade. Huh?
Go on, mister. Put him down. Do the big funnies at him. Show us what hot garbage you are. Talk away, I'll kill you.
With that relic? Forget it. Somehow, I can't bring myself to be scared of a crossbow.
What's a crossbow? Do mugging. Twang.
Right? Twang. My God! Holy shit.
I've been shot.
Look out. He should have been scared of that crossbow. I thought he had something up his sleeve, dude. I thought he had something up his sleeve for real. All right. John, perhaps we should help him. Call an ambulance or something.
It's not smart. It's not smart to get involved, Mary.
Oh, fuck.
Shouldn't have said nothing.
Out of order.
Crawling to a telephone booth.
Oh, balls.
That was an inner monologue.
Hey. Yo.
The guy crawling up behind him.
I know, he's paying no
Very
damn
vigilant police officer.
Help me.
Go home and sleep it off, fella.
Oh. Wait. This is bullshit. No, sorry. Taxi. Oh, fuck.
Sorry, we shouldn't be laughing at serious comic.
Well, actually, no, you can have fun with it, you know. He's
stumbling to the hospital emergency entrance.
This is what makes the Green Arrow such a badass. He can take that kind of pain.
He took it just above the heart.
I'm not afraid of a crossbow. Miss,
Dummy.
Need a doctor. We're very busy tonight. Could you come back in the morning? Isn't modern civilization wonderful?
Oh my! However, not even the busiest medical staff can ignore a man lying on the floor with an arrow jutting from his shoulder, especially when he's blocking the corridor. Thus, nasty wound there. Sorry, go ahead.
Go.
Nasty wound there. The shaft chipped the bone. Well, we caught it before infection set in. Don't use the arm for a few weeks and you should be okay.
Doc, can I see the arrow? Yeah, I thought this thing looked familiar. Only I was bleeding too much to be sure. You have a public phone here?
In the lobby, Mr. Queen.
Well, pay your bill at the front desk. Go ahead.
Can you pay your bill at the front desk?
Check. I'll use the installment plan. A leg down and a toe a week. Oh, it works. Will miracles never cease? Hello, operator? I want Hal Jordan in Coast City. Who's an operator, Nick? I don't get it. Hey, here's the question.
Yeah.
If you had 0 on your phone, would there be someone there?
I don't know if I think I used a rotary phone like once. So.
No, I'm saying on your cell phone right now, if you hit 0, is somebody going to be there?
Nope.
Okay, great. Okay, just checking.
Yeah. So, Ollie, what's up?
Trouble, pal. Giant economy-size woes. Can you arrange to have the Green Lantern meet me at my pad pronto?
And a moment later,
it's all you, buddy.
Ollie tries to put a grin on everything he says, but I've never heard him sound so worried. His voice was almost hysterical. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evils might beware my power. Green
Lantern's light. Cool. Across the sleeping city he hurls, a green-clad warrior, at the beginning of another crusade. So, okay, I'll be your narrator. You be mine. How about that?
All right.
This is
And soon after his friend Green Arrow finished telling of his mishaps, I understand you're being disturbed. Being zapped with a crossbow might shake anyone.
It's not that. It's what I was zapped with. This shaft is one of mine. Of course, I've left. Oh, yeah. Of course, I've left plenty of these at scenes of sundry crimes. Lots of nasty swords have had their chance to snare one. Still, I can't help being worried because I haven't seen my ward, Speedy, in a month.
And you think he may have been captured?
Mm, the possibility exists. I haven't paid much attention to him lately. I've been I've been sterling out with my romance. Strung out. That's a U. Okay. I've been strung out. I've been strung out with my romance. Haven't had time for much else. I'm asking you for assistance. With a punctured wing, I'd be close to zilch in a brawl.
You have some idea where to begin?
In the basement of this fire trap, I'm pretty certain I saw the youngsters who mugged me heading down there last week. Heading down here last week.
Swell digs you live in, like inside of a bad dream.
Shh. Listen.
Please,
Hey!
Mr. Brown. You gotta let me have some. Mr. Brown, I'm going out of my head with the need.
Soon as you raise the price, you buy the goods, not after. I think. Anyways,
I'm begging you. I'm on my knees.
that gets you nothing but baggy pants. Scram, Junior. The way you are, you ain't even good. You ain't even a good doormat.
Kicked him in the face.
Yep.
Let me in. I can't take the pain.
What's that's you?
What's wrong with him?
Can't you see? He's withdrawing. Cold turkey.
My gut on fire. Cold turkey?
Lantern. You can be dumb. The boy's a snowbird. He's on dope. Apparently, Browden's a salesman. A blasted pusher. And that's as low as anybody can sink.
Drugs. Drugs?
You guys holding the convention? Zipper your lips and give me a chance to rest. Oh, I will. I really will. You scum. Want to shuffle, beatnik? Hurt you, did I? Tough. My wing. That's you.
Get away from him.
Pew. You want to mix with me too, freak? I'll show you how scared I am of your army. I think that says army. I'll split you. Oh.
You all right, Arrow?
No sweat. I'm in far better shape than that guy here.
Need fix so bad. Well, deposit the brown specimen at the nearest precinct. The lad should go to a hospital.
First, though, he tells us about Speedy. You're flying, Snowbird. Oh, you're flying. Snowbird. Now, sing. Oh, okay, I got it. You're flying now, Snowbird. Sing. There you go. At that moment, in the city's teeming Chinatown, you figure Chucky scored? That's you.
Nah, Brown's one mean. Sorry, moving. Nah, Brown's one mean cat. He wouldn't give us granny stuff unless she put bread in front.
Hey, you know what? I'll have to be that guy if you want, because you're Roy Harper, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be that guy.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just no. Browden's one mean cat. He wouldn't give us his granny stuff unless he put bread in front.
Relax. Talk about something else. Like what's with those weapons?
Chucky better make a buy. I'm getting sick again.
She's got a wall of stuff.
I know.
There's a crossbow too.
My Pops collection. All day long, he answers to
There you go.
chink, slank. At night, he comes home and grooves on the armament. Pretends he's Genghis Khan or somebody. Pretends he's killing his bosses instead of kissing their feet. Pops escape trip. Okay,
Big Skate Podcast.
there you go. Now available on Spotify.
Thanks.
Me, I found another escape with Nick and Adam. Oh, you coming on strong. You get insulted, eh? Chinks, nothing compared to the names I'm called. Oh, I'm not saying that.
And we're skipping.
I'm not saying that. Blank is for openers. Blank is for openers. Then they get real poetic. But it ain't the names they call you. It's what's behind their eyes, baby. It's my reason for shooting. It makes life more bearable. And it gets me through the day. Wish Chucky would hurry. Cramps are turning my belly to mush. You got a reason for being a hophead, Roy?
It's personal. Look, the ceiling.
If you think I'm going to toss off a one-liner about dropping in, forget it. Must be a new thing. Busted narco squad's getting tricky. Split!
Hold on. We mean you no harm.
Sure you don't. Okay, sure you don't. And the streets made of pistachio ice cream too. Look, pigs, we're clean. You have a quick lip, Sonny. Maybe we ought to jail you.
You plan to lock me up too, Green Arrow?
Speedy, I can't say I'm surprised to find you in this hole.
You're not?
Nah. When you vanished, I knew you had to be on the trail of baddies. I figured you were playing undercover agent.
Sure. Secret operator Speedy, that's me. On a trail for the funny papers.
Had any luck? I mean, have you learned who's behind the narcotics racket?
Not yet.
I can show you. You. I don't dig my habit, man. I want to see the pushers behind bars. You can locate them for us? No problem. You're looking pretty pale, fella. No need for you to come along. Sit tight. I'll give you a play-by-play of the action tonight.
Anything you say, Green Arrow.
How'd you trace us? Why bother asking? Chucky must have ratted on us. He's white. That cat is, especially his liver. That's lily white. Okay. If you weren't so pale and washed out looking, I'd do a dance on your head. As for your chum, I'm tempted to pay him back for his crossbow move with interest. Look at that. So let's take a minute here. Look at this. This is Neal Adams right here.
Heck yeah.
1971. You know?
Well, and that, I mean, you can clearly.
Yep.
Was that the end?
No, I was just checking that date. No, I just taken a moment to look at it. 1971.
I mean, you can clearly tell, like, that's a black guy. That's a Native American guy. Like his ability, especially because I have a hard time drawing like women. Like
right.
That's kind of like he's a freaking master. So
yeah, and the features aren't over exaggerated.
Right. And that's what I that's what I meant. It's like you can clearly say, okay, that's a black guy, that's a Native American guy. I mean, you can tell a little bit because he's got like, the tasseled shirt, but yeah, without being over exaggerated, like you said, it's just masterwork. So
yeah, damn good. That's you.
Steady arrow. You don't have to be on rough. You don't have to be so rough on the lads.
Oh, buzz off, Lantern. Look, sure, I'm ticked off at the pushers because they prey on weaknesses, but that doesn't mean my heart bleeds for junkies.
Can you go back to that one panel? Sorry, or if we're that art is so good.
I know.
Go back to that. Sorry, go a panel ahead. Just the faces, the detail on the face.
And then that, yeah.
Looks so freaking good. All right, sorry.
No, it's all good.
And then the coloring, it's all fantastic. And
I know
that's early 70s. Good
yeah, I mean, look at the light coming in on the.
I say the color in there on the right side of the face, just the everything's it's so freaking it's top notch, and I think Neal Adams did all his inking as well. So
really,
yeah,
I did not know that. All right, let's see.
back with the story.
Yeah, life is tough for everyone. If you want to blame humanity, you don't crawl into a drug stupor. Oh, I guess that was Oliver. Life's tough for everyone. If you want to claim humanity, you don't crawl into a drugged stupor. You done preaching? Maybe you want to look down. The airfield, I hear Bowden says it's where he meets his suppliers. That's you.
Okay. Figures a private airstrip would be perfect for receiving smuggled drugs.
The problem is we have no idea who the smugglers are. They could be pilots, or we can start here at the hangar. Because, wait a minute. Okay, we can start here at the hangar, because if that guy's not I'm junk, my mama's goose.
I'm Mama Goose.
Oh, I'm Mama Goose. Okay, sorry. My dyslexia. I was going to try to lie and say, my glasses aren't on, but, I might as well just tell the truth. My dyslexia. All right. That's dope looking. No pun intended.
I love the silhouette of that's a P-51 right there. I know a P-51 when I see one.
I mean the plane?
Yeah.
No,
it's a Mustang.
Yeah? No shit.
In the hangar.
Oops.
In the hangar. Nice haul. Solid 10 grand.
It's like taking candy from a baby.
The poor dogs will pay any price for a jolt. We got the supply, and boy, they have the demand.
Good guess, Lantern. We found the filth.
It's a raid. Get him.
Just admire that for a minute. Look at that revolver.
I'd say go to that next panel. That next panel's impressive.
This? Wow.
That's awesome.
I suppose Green Lantern just let him have it. Not much of a battle. Yep, it sure did. You are indeed an inspired sort, Mr. L.
One tries one's best, Mr. A.
Oh, he's getting a wrench.
Is
that a boy or a girl? I can't.
I'm gonna guess a boy.
Oh!
Having done our renowned minstrel number, we'll chart off the.
You twerk! Let me go. I nailed him for you. Give me a hand with his buddy. We'll do just that. Damn.
I was about to get his ass whooped again.
I know. A couple of love taps, and their brains will be painted all over the floor. Ooh, got a wrench. See what that says. Wait, I have a better idea. Is there any of this stuff left? Oh, shit. You kidding me? Pick up on that? They're going to drug them. There we go. 1,000 packets, maybe. Pure merchandise. Not cut with talcum like the stuff we sell. Your turn.
You wouldn't have a needle on you.
I'm not dumb enough to put that garbage in my veins.
No matter. Give me a packet. He doesn't know he's sniffing merchandise any junkie in town would sell his mother for. When he wakes, he'll be zoinked. Zonk.
But still you.
I say, you do the other one likewise. While I be a good citizen and phone my friendly neighborhood police. The cops will find those crusaders high on junk. They'll figure they ripped open our organization. Plus, it'll discredit the do-gooders.
Hello, officer. This I do not dig.
You getting cold feet?
Man, I don't want to see anybody busted.
Better them than us.
Okay, he should be here quick, so we won't be.
Hey, don't we get a reward?
Guess you deserve something. We're a fair outfit. Here, live big.
Thanks. We're glad to help. Ring!
I was thinking it. I just didn't do it. Officers, there's a bunch of dope fiends tearing up the office.
Thanks, kid.
What the fuck? Snap out of it. Snap out of it.
Go away. I'm warm. Comfortable.
That's you.
Oh, that's right. If you don't use your power ring to fly us away, we'll all be rotting in jail. I faked out the police, but they won't remain faked. Maybe he needs a fake out job. I'll bet you can't make the ring work. No, of course I can't. Zap.
Zap. There you go.
Once again, Green Lantern pours will into the mysterious green gem. A willpower sickened by the chemicals polluting his blood.
Oh.
It's all wonky.
Wow.
A shimmering shape begins to form a twisted, hideous caricature of himself. The twilight truth of the drug transformed into immediate, tangible reality by the ring. Slavering, hungry, monstrous.
What's funny is Denny O'Neil jokes. He was in recovery when he died, but you know he talked about how busy his life was, and he goes, "Plus, I had a small coke habit."
Hey, they were known for cranking up the work there.
Well, yeah, but it's funny that he writes it this way.
Right.
You know, like this is like anybody who's done any of that stuff knows that this is very exaggerated. That's all. You know what I mean? All right.
Still fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I agree. Oh my god.
Oh my word. That beast is me as I am now. And it seeks to devour us. No, I'll be a man, no monster.
Look at that eye.
That's intense.
That's intense, man. I'll be free. That's you.
I'll be free. Freedom.
Woo! Freedom.
There.
Damn.
Great part.
That's you. You're right,
Nice
Harper.
going, Green Lantern. It was pretty hairy for a minute. Quiet, don't distract me, or I won't be able to stay aloft.
My magic sword and said, "Oh, no, no, he's leaning up against." Soon at Green Arrow's tenement apartment. Ugh. I feel like 200 pounds of boiled inner tube.
Brother, why do people use that stuff?
Lantern, chum, we dumped it. We lost the baddies. We lost the evidence. We were suckered by slimy junkies. Boy, oh boy, a dandy pair of crime fighters we are. If Speedy hadn't deduced where those punks were taking us and followed, the law would have heaved us into the clink and swallowed the key.
I still don't understand why people want to poison themselves with heroin, pills, the whole sick bag. Maybe I could throw some light on the reason, Jill. Say a young cat has someone he respects, looks up to, an older man. And say the older man leaves, chases around the country, gets involved with others, and ignores his young friend. Then the guy might need a substitute for friendship. He might seek it in junk.
Gee, Speedy, all your tale lacks is violin music. I'm touched. My stomach is because every time I hear a sob story, I almost lose my lunch.
How sensitive.
I know, right? You're welcome to sleep on the couch if you want, Lantern.
No, I can't get home. I see y'all in the morning. We'll continue chasing those cruds.
Right. I'll work very hard on canning that crew. Their racket stinks, and they made fools of us. Oh,
The
shit.
deal going down. He looks like Eddie Murphy.
Yeah? I saw the beret and shit my pants. Speedy, I'm going to cook some of my special scorch your mouth chili. Can I interest you in a bowl? Oh, dear God. Are you on drugs? You're really a junkie?
Who else do you think I was talking about?
It doesn't end yet, right, Nick?
It doesn't end yet. I can't read the rest.
It doesn't end yet. It can't. Next issue, the most shattering conclusion ever. And that was
That's a good issue.
Yeah, issue 85, 1971, September 1971.
Yeah, that's see, you always knew about that one, like the cover about Speedy and all that, but I didn't realize they got all like juiced up. Like
I didn't either.
that's quite the story there.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. I like that early. I love the early 70s. Through the whole 70s. So all that stuff is really good stuff. You know, it's grounded. You know, a lot of and that's the whole reason they put Green Lantern and Green Arrow together, because they wanted to bring Green Lantern out of the stars and have him see what is going on. I don't know.
That's about as ground level as it gets, getting beat up by
Right?
junkies.
No doubt. No doubt. So yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah. So, all right, Adam. So any other final words here? So I think we're gonna get back to our other series. We were getting, was that the All-Star Batman? No, what was it? Batman and Robin,
The Boy Wonder.
the boy.
All-Star Batman and Robin, The Boy Wonder.
So that'll be issue 2. That'll be next week for Comic Book Theater.
Yeah, I have to admit I had a lot more fun reading this than I did that, because I know it's coming. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's like one of those things. Do you really want to die before you find out how ridiculous this book is? That's how it's like, gotta see this. It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you get that. It's the so bad it's good. Or so bad it's
not
maybe
good.
yeah, maybe we'll do it so you don't have to. There's an element of that. But either way, I had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys had some fun listening to that. But if you guys are like what we're doing, let us know. And maybe if you want us to do Comic Book Theater for one of your favorite comics, let us know. But yeah, we haven't decided exactly how we're going to do it. So either it's going to be a issue at a turn, if a couple issues at a time, or a series at a time. we'll see. We're just gonna have fun with it. So
Yeah, and I wouldn't count on us to finish the story. Just to point out a couple of the, we could even skip a book or two just to show you some stuff. Because that's like 12 issues, and it still never ends. It just gets discontinued.
it just gets canceled.
Yeah, I mean, because it took them like months to come out with books. So
Right. So yeah. Speaking of which, because that's something we should talk about, because as far as comic book news, there's quite the paper shortage, and that's really going to impact uh, the way comic books are coming out right now.
mm,
Like the one comic that I've been waiting on since it was supposed to come out in February was the second issue of Swamp Thing Green Hell. I just realized I was at my comic shop the other week, a week ago or so. I was like, "Hey, did that ever come out?" He's like, "No, haven't heard nothing about it." And I went home and Googled it, and that's supposed to come out May 17th, something like that. So way after uh, it was supposed to be. And then I listened to Clownfish TV or on YouTube. Those are good guys, and he's the guy Neon. He does his own book, and he was saying that, like a year or two ago when he was putting out his comic, he contacted his shop, print shop, and he said, yeah, they could have had it done in 2 weeks. I think they had the book done in 2 weeks. He contacted them recently to do his follow up book, and they said they wouldn't be able to get it done for like 6 months.
oh,
So there is a big old there's going to be a big monkey wrench in the production of comics coming up very soon, if it's not already here. If it's not affecting you, it will affect you soon. So not great news for comic books, which is exactly what comic books needs right now, right? More bad news.
yeah,
But
yeah.
in the meantime, go pick up some old books like the old Neal Adams and Denny O'Neil, either Batman or Green Lantern and Green Arrow.
Yes, you will not regret it.
So all right, so let's do the I don't know what the hell, but
The
go
curly
check
shuffle.
yeah, the curly shuffle.
Yep,
Go check
yep,
us out.
yep, yep.
Go check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We are at the Escape with Nick and Adam on Instagram. We are Escape with Nick and Adam on Facebook. We just started uploading our stuff to Spotify. You can go check us out and download our episodes there. Please do. It helps the channel, helps the show, helps us. So
Give us a review.
Yeah, give us a review. If we're doing terrible, let us know. If we're doing great, let us know. If you like what we're doing or don't like what we're doing, let us know. We are at the Escape with Nick and Adam there. And trying to think, is there anything else? So we are probably going to start going a little bit heavy into Comic Con stuff, because we do live in Michigan and the Motor City Comic Con is coming up. So I just reserved my ticket today.
Yes, mine are reserved too.
So we will be talking about probably next episode, and plus whatever toys and comics come out. So yeah, leave us a like and subscribe on any of those platforms. That helps out a lot. So, and just interact with us on Instagram or Facebook. So thanks so much. And Adam, any final words?
Godspeed, Planet Houston.
Good night, America.